What is going on, guys? DBG here, and in this video we are going to be doing another tier list. So if you guys are new to the channel, subscribe. We're trying to hit 150,000 subscribers by the 1st of May. And right now we are just over 7,000. We're at 7,200 off, so it's looking like we are probably going to hit it. And also, if you guys could leave a like, it'd be greatly appreciated. And before we get on to the players, I just want to say this is purely subjective. There is no way to be objective with something like this. And to be honest, the small forward position is probably the weakest position in this game. Because if you look at the best small forwards in the world, like, it probably is the best position in general in real life. But if you look at the best guys for small forward in the game, almost everybody uses a power forward. Because cards that would 100% be like high tier players that should be small forwards are Miles Bridges, Gerald Wallace, Paul George, Rudy Gay, Paul Pierce, Larry Bird. All those cards should be small forwards, but they're all power forwards because 2K wants to keep their overalls down low. So, yeah, that is not ideal. But anyway, they're all going to be on the power forward list tomorrow, and really, their cards you will use a small forward. So, but in general, the small forward position is actually the weakest. The two guard and the power forward are the strongest in my opinion. The small forward is probably the weakest, which is kind of crazy because in real life, small forward is probably the most stacked position in the NBA right now. It's just that a lot of the cards that should be small forward are actually either power forwards or like LeBron, where he's a point guard. But anyway, first up, we're going to go Kelly Oubre. So Kelly Oubre, again, if this was like two guards, you'd be looking at Kelly Oubre as like a low B tier. And the fact that I had Dwayne Wade in this tier for two guards, even though he was like a high B tier, I'm going to put Kelly Oubre for small forwards. I'm going to put him in A tier. He's got a range extender. He can go to the basket quite well. He shoots the ball well. He's got a good release. Not a terrible defender. So I'm going to put him up into A tier. Then we've got Kenny Walker. Kenny Walker has some good qualities, some not great qualities. I actually like his release. His release is iffy. I'm not going to say it's a great release, but it's not a terrible release either. He's a good dunker, goes to the basket quite well. 6'8", can play the 3/4. So overall, versatile card, not bad at really anything, but he doesn't do anything particularly well. So he's kind of like a worse Jeff Green type player, but somewhat usable, especially if you are on a budget. Then we got Kirilenko. Kirilenko, I'm telling you, when Kirilenko gets a range extender or quick first step card, I'd assume range extender will come first. But we know for a fact Kirilenko is getting a pink diamond card at some stage, and probably an opal tour later on in the year. But I'm telling you, pink diamond Kirilenko with quick first step and range extender will be a god. He already has all the defensive badges of Hall of Fame, and he already has base 11, really nice release. He's got quick draw, and he's got Dimer Hall of Fame already on his card, which is a bit crazy. An elite defender, but just not the greatest offensive player in the world, which is why I'm going to put him in B tier. But I'm telling you, later on in the year, we are going to get an unbelievable Andre Kirilenko card. Like, still got the unbelievable animations. He's just not got the stats or badges to be an elite card in this game. Then we got Xavier Mcdaniel, who, honestly, Xavier Mcdaniel was a good card last year. Or say not last year, earlier on in the year. He was actually an elite tier card earlier on in the year, especially when he was evoed up to pink diamond. But for now, I'm going to have to put him in C tier. He'd be like a much higher C tier than someone like a Kenny Walker. Like, he'd probably be the highest of the C tier. He might end up going up to B depending on what the rest of these players are like, but he's a good defender. He's like a much worse Kirilenko. So that's why I have him in C tier. So Chris Middleton's actually really good. So he doesn't miss. I'm saying that right now. Middleton is like a fantastic shooter. Does not do much except shoot it. As in, offensively, his game is very limited. But again, he can flat out shoot the ball. So for that reason, he is going into A tier. He's also got okay height and can play the 2, which helps. He's not stuck to playing the power forward, which most people are. So being able to play 2 and being a tall 2 guard is definitely a positive. And we got Michael Porter Jr. He's going D tier. I actually don't mind the card. I don't think he's bad. I don't think he's great either. Yeah, he was a fun card when he came out. He's 6'10". Another card that I'm telling you, we're going to get an unbelievable Michael Porter Jr. at some stage. He's got he's a decent jump shooter, not a great dunker. He's not got the best animations. Yeah, he's got quick first step, but a little bit outdated at this stage. But I'm telling you, when we inevitably do get a range extender / clamps Michael Porter Jr., because of the fact he's 6'10 with good animations, we're going to be looking at a really, really good card. Trust me. This Michael Porter Jr. is not very good, but later on in the year, we're going to get really good Michael Porter Jr.'s. Do you guys remember his Generation X card last year? That Generation X Diamond was legit as good as the Ben Simmons, because you could play on a point guard and there was no position locks. Then we have got Danny Granger, who I'm going to have to put him up in A tier. I like Granger. I think he was a little bit flawed when he came out because he couldn't do it behind the back, which is definitely a big problem. However, obviously that bad is just patched. He's fast, he's got quick first step. He can go by people to the basket, he dunks on people. He's like a similar level card to a Lamar Odom in terms of playing on the wing, but he can't play at the 4. He's a tall 2 guard, a good defender. Just overall, he's a pretty good card. A little bit underrated because he's been outclassed by cards recently, but you know what? He's not bad at all. And also in the not half bad category is Hedo Turkoglu. And I'm again a massive fan of Hedo Turkoglu in this game. I know his release is iffy, and the thing is, I really like his release. So he's got the same release as, I think it's Chauncey Billups, except Billups has Hall of Fame and Hedo only has gold quick draw. But he's got range extender, he's still got good animations, behind the back dribble is cheesy. You know what, like, I really do like this Hedo. I don't think he's anywhere close to A tier. Actually, he's probably, I'd actually take him over any of these. I think he might be one of the higher A tier players. Then we're going to Lamar Odom, who is going to S tier. Again, this is one where some people will disagree on it, and that's perfectly fine. I still occasionally use Lamar Odom, and he still is occasionally really, really good for me. So, anytime I use him, he's good. Would I use him, like, most of the time I play power forwards, a small forward and power forward, or 2 guards. So, if I'm running with my main team, I'd either have like a Tracy McGrady or a Brandon Roy at small forward, or a Gerald Wallace or something. So there's a lot of small forwards or power forwards that I think might be a little bit better, but the small forward position is weak, and of all the cards we've seen so far, Lamar Odom is the best by a mile. Then we got Luka Doncic. Luka's got an offense non-existent on defense, absolutely non-existent. And yeah, sure, he can play point guard, but I'm telling you this right now, if you know how, well, not even if you know how, pretty much every point guard in the game now is quick first step Hall of Fame. So Luka's just going to get burnt. Luka, he's just outclassed. An actual not bad card when he came out, just outclassed right now. Next up is Paul George. So if the other Paul George was the correct position, it would be S tier without question. But this Paul George here, he's got steady. He's got only silver quick first step. But you know what? He's going into A tier. He's overall a good card. He is a good card. Still holds his own. Still going to be a similar standard to a Kelly Oubre. Probably a bad price as deal-wise, but he's not bad. He does everything, and he's 6'9", and can play the 2. I'd say he's, I don't even know. I'd say he's a similar level to Granger. Not that similar a card, but I'd put him on par with Danny Granger. Then we got Jalen Rose, who's going into C tier. My God, how they have not upgraded this card. This card was outdated when he came out. Like, this card was bad when he came out, and he's still bad. They haven't upgraded him at all. Next, we get Jason Tatum. If Jason Tatum had his Amethyst release, he'd be an S tier. But he has the Diamond / other Pink Diamonds release, so I'm going to put him in A tier. But Tatum is really good. Tatum is a lockdown defender. He's definitely the best of the A tier players, and I might move him up depending on how many I have. But Jason Tatum is a card I like, but I don't particularly like his release. His Amethyst is one of the best in the game, which is unfortunate, but I'm not the biggest fan of this Jason Tatum's release. Then we have got Buddy Hield. So Buddy, S tier. He is basically Ray Allen. In my opinion, if you want just pure, like catch and shoot 3-and-D guys, the best you can get are Ray Allen, Buddy Hield, and Drazen Petrovic, and it's personal preference. In my opinion, Buddy Hield is the best of them all. Some people prefer Drazen, and most would prefer Ray Allen. But if Buddy Hield was a 2 guard, he would not be an S tier, but the weakness at a power forward position or a small forward position puts him in S tier. Then we got Brandon Ingram. I like Brandon Ingram. I actually do like branding him. He's a good card. He's got a decent handle. He's overall, he's good. He's like a similar standard. He's probably a better Paul George. Not bad at all. Then we got Carmelo Anthony, who is going... Like, a lot of people complained when I did this last year, and I put people between tiers. So, for example, like yesterday, I would have had Dwayne Wade in between B and A. Because I know he can be easily abused, but he's also fantastic, so he would have been in between. But because he was down in B tier and I didn't do between tiers, people were complaining that the best card in B tier was better than the worst card in B tier, which is obvious. But I'm going to put Melo in A tier, but he'd be like hovering between A and S. He's the best player in A tier. The one thing keeping him off S tier is that he is gold steady shooter. And steady shooter is a horrible badge. Then we got Stephon Marbury. He's going D tier. Like, he can't do anything. Like, offensively, his whole game is post game, but he can't, he is only 6'7". He's got like a good dunk stat, but he can't get to the basket, but he's got like a 60 ball handle. He's got good defensive stats, but he's got no defensive badges. He's got no clamps. So he actually cannot do anything. Just because he's a pink diamond does not mean he's good. This card is awful. Then we got Galaxy Opal Scottie Pippen, S tier, no question about it. Scottie would have been probably A tier before the upgrade, but they upgraded him. He has like 35 Hall of Fame badges now. His release is way better. So everything's better with this Scottie, and yeah, no doubt about it, he's S tier. James Worthy, I've only used him once, and again, another player that there's no questioning about it is in the S tier. The best by far of all the rewards you get for going 12-0, and the first time since Baron Davis that it's actually been worth doing. Actually, to be fair, Dr. J exists. So, Dr. J was not worth doing at the time. It is definitely worth it right now. But Kevin Durant, we've got a couple of S tiers right here in a row. Kevin Durant's up here in S tier. He's really, really good. Kevin Durant, arguably the best small forward in the game. Probably between him, Scottie, and Worthy. And actually, to be fair, what's his name's in the conversation as well? Dr. J. But I'd still say Kevin Durant's the best of them all. Hall of Fame range extender, pretty much everything you need. Hall of Fame clamps is going to be my small forward for the long run in my squad. Then we have got Jimmy Buckets. Jimmy Butler is going into A tier. So, Jimmy, an elite defender, an elite shooter. Good enough at going to the basket, but there's just something about Jimmy Butler I don't like. I don't know, like, if you want to put Jimmy Butler in S tier, fine. There's just something about him that I don't like. Then we got Kawhi. Oh, this is a tough one. Normally there's loads in B tier, and this is going to be like a complete, like, opposite one. So, I'm going to put Kawhi in S tier. This is a bit of an iffy one, because maybe you can argue he belongs lower, but his release is one of the best in the game. He's a lockdown defender, and just as a glue guy, you can't get much better than Kawhi. So, yeah, I'm going to put him in S tier. Then we have got Richard Jefferson, who I'm going to put in A tier. Richard Jefferson, if he had a better release, would be one of the best cards in the game. He just has that catapult release, and there's some days I can't miss with it, and there's other days I can't score with it. Because of his lack of consistency, I'm going to put him there. And we have got Rick Barry. I'm going to put him in B tier, just so that Kirilenko's not alone, but he'd be somewhere in between these two tiers. Not absolutely awful, not good. Like, he is by no means good, but there are worse cards in the game. He's not like unusable, but he's just not very good. And Dr. J would have probably been like, I'm not gonna lie, I would have probably put Dr. J in B tier, but then he got upgraded and he got like basically every important badge Hall of Fame and went up to 99.5 his stats, and he's now one of the best cards in the game. So Dr. J is going in here into S tier. So I'm gonna put him there, and now we're down to the last two. So also going in B tier is Dominique Wilkins. So Dominique Wilkins is a weird one, because like when he came out, he was not great, and he still hasn't been upgraded, I don't think. He has 9 Hall of Fame badges. 9. Do you know who has more Hall of Fame badges than him? Or who has the same amount? Jeff Green. Lance Stevenson has the same amount. OG Anunoby has more Hall of Fame badges than him. He's got 9 Hall of Fame badges, and he's a Galaxy Opal. It is crazy. As well as that, like, no range extender. Not great going to the basket. Well, actually, sorry. He is great going. That's the only thing he's good at. Not a great shooter. They ruined base 8 this year. Or base 16, whatever his is. Yeah, we're 100% going to get another Dominique. This one is just not very good. Then we have got Grant Hill as the last player. Grant Hill is going into S. Yeah, S. Still good. A little bit outclassed, and I'm almost certain this is the last month we're going to be seeing Grant Hill in S tier. But as of right now, I think it's hard to not put him here because he is still a really good card. He still shoots the ball well. He still defends well. He still kind of does everything well. So I think as of right now, it's hard not to put him in S tier, but I don't think he stays in this tier longer than this month. And to be honest, after this month, it'll probably be, I doubt, Grant Hill, Kawhi, or Lamar Odom. I think they're the guys that are definitely going to drop below S tier next month. I'd be shocked if Dr. J, KD, Worthy, Pippen, or Buddy go out S tier, but I think the other ones probably will. Anyway, that's the video. Honestly, like, I probably should have done a better job, like, planning out this video because I have so many in A or S tier. So there is actually a lot of pretty good small forwards. However, if this was, like, based on the 2-guard position, most people would be moved down a tier. A couple of the top ones would stay there and a couple would stay in A tier, but most would end up moving down a tier. And to be fair though, there's not many really weak small or power forwards. Or small forwards, sorry. There's a lot of weak power forwards. It's not very top heavy. There's a lot of good small forwards, but none like... Well, actually, there is a few that are exceptional, so maybe the position is not as bad as I thought. But anyway, that's the video. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.